Hi, welcome back to the channel, and today on Polar Ice Creamery we are going to talk about eggnog, what it is and why you can't just churn it into ice cream. Then we're going to make one that you can churn into ice cream. So stick around and let's see what it's all about. Eggnog. There are a million recipes for eggnog online, and that's probably, underestimating. There's some notably good ones. Most of them pretty bad. But actually in reality, what seems to happen is probably 5 or 6 people make their eggnog reasonable recipes. People take the majority of those ingredients and then change them to make their own. It's just unfortunate that those people don't really know what they're doing. So they're taking ingredients from a good recipe, adding a load of other crap, or taking some essential stuff out and putting it back out there as their own recipe. And let's be fair, that's how new recipes are created. You modify them to your liking. So I guess if you look at it like that, then they're fine. They're what the people that created them wanted them to be, or maybe not. But there is actually some science behind eggnog, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So, what is it? Max Miller, or Tasting History with Max Miller, he did an excellent eggnog video. I'm going to put a link below, and if you're not subscribed to him, why not? Amazing content, really nice guy, so head over and do the stuff. Now, let's assume that you've just watched that, which is probably a good idea, to be fair. Come back here and let's talk about what happens with eggnog. Custards. That's really what it is. It's a kind of custard. It's a type of custard. What actually is a custard? It's a viscous liquid made using egg yolks and dairy. Traditionally, that's what it is, or what it used to be. Now you could, I guess, in modern times, you could say that custard is just a semi-viscous liquid. Move the nog out of the way. Now, as ice cream makers, we know custards. We know how to make these viscous liquids because we do it every day, every week. If you do this as a profession, then you do nothing but make those kind of liquids. Now, let's get store-bought eggnog. I've tried a few. This one seems to hold up pretty well. I won't break this down scientifically. I'm going to do another video on that if you really want to go into depth as to what the sugar, fat, solids content of eggnog is, but this one's pretty good. That's what's in here. It's creamy. It's got a nice bit of nutmeg flavour going through there. It's a pretty decent viscosity, so it's relatively thick, but not so thick. Some of them are really watery. This actually isn't a bad eggnog, and you'll find those in the stores. And if you're happy with that, then great. Chances are you're not, though, because that's why you're watching this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock up this recipe here. It's one of the most well-reviewed eggnog recipes online, and we're going to compare it to this one. And for my eggnog, the scientific ice creamer's way of making eggnog, what you're going to need is 300 grams of 3% milk, 250 grams of 33% whipping cream, 60 grams of skim milk powder, 80 grams of sugar, 60 grams of glucose syrup, 40 DE, DE means dextrose equivalent, and 100 grams of egg yolks. And that mixture on an ice cream calculator gives us 14% fat, 11% sugar, 11.7 milk solids non-fat, 43.3 total solids, 56.7% water. All well within the range of standard ice cream, apart from the sugar, which is actually a bit low. But by including the 40D glucose syrup, we are changing the freezing point enough, hopefully, to allow us to not boost the sweetness too much, because obviously 40D is nowhere near as sweet as sucrose. It's 40 to 45% the sweetness. So it comes out, this recipe, with a pot of 140. It is going to freeze a little harder, obviously, with such low sugar, but we'll just take it out. What we're trying to do here is create an eggnog that is also an ice cream. So let's make it. Okay, here we go. On to the scientific eggnog recipe. We're going to start with our sugar, straight in, egg yolks, straight in, and this is our 40 DE glucose syrup. Okay, so we're just gonna get this out, sticky old stuff. You can warm it in a microwave for just a few seconds. That makes life much easier, but I just like to show you how sticky things can be. Here we go, look. There we go. I actually did 2 grams over because I knew I'd get some wastage. So I'm just gonna put all that in there. Okay, now that that's just loosening up a little bit, that glucose is starting to blend in, we're just gonna add in our final ingredient, which is our skim milk powder. And up we go to 65 to 70 degrees centigrade. Yeah, let's see, about 66.5 degrees on average. It's a good place to be. We know at that temperature the egg yolk proteins are doing what they need to do. They're going to thicken our liquid nicely, which it's doing already. So obviously the point of the science-based eggnog is to create an eggnog that we can also turn into ice cream. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to decant enough into here to do the minimum churn in this machine and put the rest back in the fridge. And once this is churned, we'll load it in a tub and put it in the freezer so we can taste it all together at the end. Put your vanilla extract in your custards when they're cool or cold. If you put them in when they're on the hob, like the other recipe, actually what you're doing is you're burning off that alcohol. And that alcohol is what is carrying the vanilla flavour. So the more you evaporate of that off, the weaker your vanilla is going to be. So I strongly recommend you put your extracts in when your mix is around 50 degrees centigrade or colder, okay? That's so good. We've got everything out. So we've got the taste better from scratch in here, so that we're gonna get some of that into this mousse glass. Can you see the glasses? Yes, you can. Let's just move that back like that. And the remaining science eggnog. I shouldn't really call it science eggnog. I should just call it ice cream eggnog, maybe. Okay, so I guess first things first, let's dust each one with just a little bit. Let's get the playing field even. So The Lucerne, the store-bought, it is good. It does taste nice. I actually like this. I've probably had 3 cartons of this already, and it's only the 16th of November. Lovely sunny, beautiful snowy day here in Alberta. And this is the taste better from scratch. Much thicker. Oh, that's naughty. That's good. Nutmeg. Much thicker. Same kind of smell, you know, so the whatever the fake and artificial stuff they've got in there, along with the natural stuff, it is the same strength to the nose that the Taste Better from Scratch one is, but this one is much thicker, much creamier, much creamier. You couldn't drink as much of this as you could of that. And then this is mine, Polar Ice Creamery's Eggnog. It smells the same. You're probably getting the, you know, the nutmeg to the nose straight away, but oh. Now, okay, so we've got same texture as this one. So it's thick, creamy, luxurious, lingers. But it lingers for much longer. It's still going now. Oh, that is good. Wow. Okay. The point of this video was to make eggnog you can drink that's comparable to that you can also churn into an ice cream. So let's get it out of the freezer. Not timed, haven't had it out for 10 minutes and then put it back in the freezer for the last 5 minutes. Straight out the freezer. Feels okay. Doesn't feel too hard. That 40D glucose syrup done the job. You won't be able to see a lot in there. It's just eggnog coloured ice cream. Let's get my bowl and dish some up. Right, so let's do the same thing. Touch of nutmeg. Scooped really well. Not too soft, not too hard. That is perfect. I don't know what to say. It's perfect. It tastes identical to the eggnog. Such a good texture. No discernible ice at all, which you would 100% get if you churn that and that. Oh, that's good. Okay, well, there we go. I mean, that's a winner right there. If you want to make an eggnog that you can also churn into a perfect eggnog ice cream, this is the one here. Okay, if you're going to make eggnog ice cream, you probably could use this recipe. Just eat it straight away. Don't freeze it, because it's junk when you freeze it. It's better than that one. That one turns to ice in about half an hour after being frozen. This one turns to ice after about 24 hours. And then you just get loads of ice crystals in there because it's 25% too low in solids. Okay. This one, it's perfect. And if you don't have that glucose 40D syrup, then just, I'll do an adjustment for the recipe, but that's what's making this here. So we're not too sweet. And that's pulling that flavor of the eggnog straight through. If it's too sweet, then all you taste is just sugar. But perfect. Thanks for coming with me on this eggnog journey in 2023. It's been an eye-opener. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I have also just opened a Patreon account for those that might be interested. I've also got Ko-fi as well. So if you don't like one or the other, then you've got a couple of choices. What I'm also going to do is I've listened to the feedback from you lovely subscribers. I'm going to keep the videos a little bit shorter and put the heavy science-based ones on Patreon, so you can watch those there. But thanks, and see you next week.